Having fun and playing and delighting in life in simple ways are ways that you can naturally boost these brain chemicals that contribute to healing your mental health and your emotional wellness and helping you to heal from anxiety, depression, burnout without having it feel like it always has to be work and really structured and serious. It doesn't always have to be that serious. Welcome to Ebbs and Flows with Erin. In this show, we're getting real about navigating the ups and downs of life together. I'm your host, Erin, and we're ditching the pressure to have it all figured out along the way because honestly, nobody does. We'll explore all things healing, growing, creating, and connecting. And if you deal with anxiety, depression, being a highly sensitive person, or just feeling overwhelmed by life sometimes, I see you, and this show is for you. My intention with these conversations is simple: to leave you feeling empowered, validated, and most importantly, reminded that you are never alone, no matter where you're at on your own journey. Learning that we all have the power to heal genuinely changed my life. And the best part, healing does not have to be complicated. The smallest changes really can make the biggest impact, and it can be joyful, fulfilling, and something that we do together. So join me in getting real about what it means to heal. Thank you for being here, and now let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to Ebbs and Flows with Erin, or welcome back to Ebbs and Flows with Erin. I'm your host, Erin, and whether you are listening or watching, I'm grateful to have you here with me today. As always, we are coming off of my 30th birthday episode. We talked all about aging and expectations in general, but especially with turning 30. I reflected on my 20s, the ups and downs, and why I'm looking forward to the future. So if you're interested in that, you can go give that a listen. But my birthday also inspired this episode topic where we are going to talk about the science of having fun and why you need to have more fun and more joy and more delighting in life more regularly. Especially on a healing journey, it's actually even more important, which can feel counterintuitive because naturally when you decide that you want to heal from something like anxiety, depression, burnout, overwhelm, mentally, emotionally, it feels like it's going to be very serious and dark and heavy. And yes, that's an aspect of it. But something that is a major key that isn't talked about enough is having fun is sometimes the most healing thing you can do. And you need to have more fun more often in life. And I know that that can be a preconditioned limiting belief that we all have because the way that the world and society is structured, it doesn't really prioritize having fun. So I think diving into the science of why fun is so healthy and healing is important so that you are being given the facts behind why you need to be having more fun and more joy and delight in life. And there was once a point along my healing journey, this took me a while to figure out because it can feel so serious and so heavy and like it needs to be so rigid and so structured. And the work that you're doing on yourself to make changes and shifts and improvements is important, but you really need to have that fun, joyful aspect as well. And I was thinking about it this past weekend because I had so much fun celebrating my birthday with family, with friends, and just allowing myself to have fun, not feeling guilty for it. Where there was a point before where I was in my thick of my healing, doing the work, but then wondering what fun was to me, and B, feeling guilty for having fun. And from conversations I've had or learning I've done, that is a common experience that people have on their healing journeys or in life in general. And when you come to realize that it doesn't always have to be that serious, that can be the most healing realization in itself. To not always take life or take everything so seriously and let yourself have fun, whatever fun looks like to you. And sometimes that's the biggest step, is doing the work to uncover what fun is to you in the first place, and then allowing yourself to do that more often. So, in this episode, we are going to dive into the science behind fun, the 3 brain chemicals that are stimulated when you're having fun, why they matter, how to stimulate them, and in general, why It is important and it is healing to have fun. Healing not only gets to be fun, but it needs to be fun. We always hear about or talk about inner child healing, and it can sound convoluted or complex, but the reality is inner child healing, in its simplest explanation, is having fun. Thinking about what you did for pure fun and play back in childhood, and then finding ways to incorporate that more often in your life. So quickly, when we enter adulthood, suddenly we lose things like hobbies or play in general. I know for myself, that was my experience when I was in my darkest struggles and decided to embark on this holistic healing journey, realizing, oh shit, I have literally not a hobby in my life. And I don't have things that I do for pure fun and play or creativity. And that is what inner child healing is, allowing yourself to play again. Playing and having fun is an act of self care. So, whatever that is for you, like I said, starting point can be thinking back to your childhood and what did you like to do for fun then? Or just start trying different things. Things like drawing or painting, dancing, singing, any sort of arts and crafts, playing music, baking, cooking, designing things, anything that you are doing purely for fun. Maybe you're building a fort in your backyard like you did when you were a kid. Whatever it is, inner child healing is having fun and playing. Okay, so the science behind fun and healing, play and joy and fun literally activate your parasympathetic nervous system state, which is the state your nervous system has to be in order for any healing or growth or change to take place. And in today's world, we are often stuck in fight or flight or freeze. And this is where we experience pain or illnesses, struggles of the body, the mind. So when we are able to shift ourselves into parasympathetic rest and digest state, this is where healing and growth and change can take place. This is where you feel relaxed and calm. And the more often that you're able to shift yourself into the parasympathetic state, nervous system regulation is not about feeling calm all of the time, but it's about being able to more naturally and more accessibly shift into your rest and digest state so you have more of a capacity to go through life without being sent into a spiral or into that fight or flight or freeze state so easily or so often. So that's important to note as well. We talk about nervous system regulation a lot, and it can get misconstrued. It's not about that you're going to feel calm all the time. It's about having more of a flexible nervous system where you are able to shift in and out of fight or flight, rest and digest more naturally, more accessibly. And having fun and play help you to do so. This is done by releasing 3 different I'm holding up 4 fingers. I'm holding up 4 if you're watching on YouTube, or you're not. I just held up 4 fingers while I said 3. Anyways, this is done by releasing 3 different brain chemicals: dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. So we're going to get into what each of these chemicals are and how to stimulate them and why it matters. So dopamine is the motivation and reward chemical. Dopamine is associated with pleasure, motivation, and reward. It is released when we experience something enjoyable or exciting, making us want to do it again. So it helps with motivation, focus, and energy levels. Now, something you may have heard of, which is kind of a phenomenon in today's world, is dopamine addiction, where with things like social media or just screen time in general, we're getting dopamine hits more accessibly and more rapidly than ever before. Things like TikTok, you're getting a hit of dopamine with every swipe that you make on a video. Or you post a photo on Instagram and you're getting likes on your photo and you're getting a hit of dopamine with every like that you see come through. So we're having a dopamine epidemic right now. And there's a lot of debate about what healthy dopamine is and what unhealthy dopamine is. And something that I learned about on my healing journey that was a really cool concept, and I have been seeing more and more widespread in recent times, is something called a dopamine menu. So when you feel the urge to just open up your phone and scroll or get those quick, easy dopamine hits, you have this menu of appetizers, meals, and desserts, you call them. And they're different levels of things that you are going to do to get your hit of dopamine that aren't scrolling on your phone. So, for example, an appetizer could be petting your dog or your cat. And then a meal could be something like doing a yoga routine at home. And a dessert could be buying tickets to a concert, going to a concert. So the appetizers are more quick and easy things you can do. The meals are something that are a bit more of a commitment, but still pretty accessible. And then desserts are more novelty, special occasion things that you do to get your hit of dopamine. So for myself, I made a note on my phone where I have a list of things that bring me joy, that I have fun doing, that I can look to when I want something that makes me feel like I'm having fun or feel excited. And instead of just doom scrolling TikTok, which it's not that you can't scroll TikTok or go on social media at all, but it's about having other things also that you can look to for this that will help you have a more healthy relationship with your dopamine. Because the problem with the quick hits of dopamine is that you can come to a point where it's really hard for you to get any stimulation of your dopamine because it's been so abused and so overactivated. So try opening up a note on your phone, make a list of things that are fun to you that you can look to at different levels, your appetizers, meals, desserts, and try to incorporate trying something new once a week or once a month, whatever you figure out works best for you. But trying new things is really important in this area. Engaging in enjoyable activities to you boosts dopamine, which increases your motivation and makes you feel more engaged in life. And that's what you want. You want to feel engaged in life. You don't want to just feel like you're going through the motions. That is where you can fall into your mental, emotional struggles. So, trying something new, doing something spontaneous, not always sticking to your rigid schedule or routine, playing games, even things like word games, or doing a puzzle, a crossword even. These are things that trigger dopamine, helping combat boredom, stagnation, depression. So if you feel stuck in life, you feel stuck in a rut, bringing in more fun can naturally boost your dopamine and create some momentum in your healing journey, in feeling alive and like an active participant in your life again, which is something when you have anxiety, depression, burnout, can feel like a struggle. Because you so easily in this world, this life, can feel like you are just along for the ride, going through the motions, and that can get dark and heavy quickly. Okay, the next brain chemical that having fun can help to stimulate is serotonin. Serotonin is the feel-good and stability chemical. Serotonin is responsible for mood regulation, emotional stability, and overall well-being. It helps to reduce stress and anxiety by promoting a sense of calm and relaxation. Low serotonin levels are linked to depression, irritability, and difficulty sleeping, which I find this interesting. I started this podcast with an Effexor series. Effexor is an SNRI antidepressant, which is a serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor antidepressant, so it's increasing levels of serotonin and norepinephrine in your brain. And I mean, if you're interested in that story, you can go listen to the 3-part series I made about being prescribed, being on, and then coming off of Effexor. But I don't know, I just felt like it numbed me out. I don't believe that it increased my feeling good or my stability in life. I mean, I guess if they mean by stability just being like numb, but then being numb doesn't make you even keeled because you get depressed. Anyways, that's a whole thing that I have talked lots about, and we're not going to get into it today, but we will continue to get into it. And you can listen to my Effexor series if you're interested at all, or if you can relate to that at all. So how does fun help with boosting serotonin levels? Well, doing activities that bring you joy, connection, fulfillment, like spending time with loved ones, being in nature, engaging in creative hobbies. These are all things that boost your serotonin levels. Playfulness and laughter naturally boost your serotonin, which improves emotional resilience and reduces stress. So things like getting outside, exposure to sunlight, moving your body, connecting with others, laughing, so you can go for walks, sit outside in the sun. You can do things with friends, family members, or connect with a group of people where you are engaging in a fun hobby or activity. You are dancing around. My daily dance parties in my house have been one of the most healing things I've ever done for myself, is literally just to dance around. Doesn't matter what you look like, just dance around your house. It sounds so silly and simple, but it truly has been a game changer because you are releasing these chemicals, you're moving your body, and I promise you it is nearly impossible to feel depressed while dancing. And if you are in that place, it is going to help shift you out of it, to put on some music, dance around your house, and just see how you feel. You might feel ridiculous, especially at first, but that's okay. Just give it a try. No one has to know, no one has to see, but just try it out. I love to dance while I'm making dinner. I like to dance while I'm getting ready for the day. Or just at random times when I'm working from home, I'll take dance breaks just to get my body moving and boost these brain chemicals. Okay, and the third brain chemical that having fun can help to boost is your endorphins, which are the natural painkiller chemical. Endorphins are the body's natural stress reliever and pain killer. Endorphins create a euphoric feeling. They are released during activities like exercise, laughter, music, social bonding. So again, anything where you're engaging in having fun and just letting yourself play, you are helping to stimulate your endorphins. And this can create the feeling of a natural high, and endorphins help with your emotional healing by making you feel safe and joyful and connected. Even simple activities like listening to music, coloring, watching a funny movie can boost your endorphins and reduce stress. So for all of these chemicals to stimulate them, it does not have to be difficult or complex. Very simple activities can help to do this and boost your levels of these brain chemicals, but you want to be doing them, incorporating activities that simply help to boost these chemicals more often. Incorporating play and joyfulness into your daily life. Because when you struggle with things like anxiety, depression, or burnout, your levels of these brain chemicals are low. And that is the problem. This is why a doctor prescribes you an antidepressant that is said to increase certain brain chemicals, but in my experience, going the holistic route and naturally boosting these chemicals in natural ways that make you feel joyful and have fun doing it has been much more successful and healthy for me, myself. And that is what I would encourage you to look to first. I know for myself, I don't want to say I wish, because I believe my journey has been my journey for a reason and it's brought me here. But I definitely, suggesting to anyone else who was in the spot that I was in when I went to my doctor looking for help with my anxiety and what turned out to be depression, I would explore more naturally accessible ways to bettering your mental emotional health before taking an antidepressant, because these are going to be more effective in my opinion, and it's something that you have control over every single day of your life and don't have the nasty side effects and withdrawals that taking medication can come with. But I do want to say, I don't believe medication is a bad thing if it works for you. It has its time and its place, and if it's something that does work for you, then I don't believe there's anything wrong with that, and there's no shaming of anyone who does take medication for anything. This is just my experience and what I can share with you from what I have found to be genuinely healing and helpful in bettering my life and mental health and emotional health, physical health, my overall wellness. Knowing what I know now, I believe that if someone comes to a doctor or professional about struggling with their mental health and wellness, I believe that there are a lot of questions that should be asked about things like, do you have hobbies? What are your habits? Things like that, rather than just prescribing you medication to balance your brain chemicals out, when there are so many things you can do on your own and you have so many innate natural healing abilities that I think we can look to before going that route. Again, time and place for medication, of course, but I've just learned so much that looking back, when I went on to an antidepressant, I had no hobbies. I was not prioritizing my fun. What I did for fun was get drunk. To be honest with you, the time that I made for myself to have fun was just getting drunk and numbing myself from the feelings of overwhelm and anxiety and at times depression with alcohol, which I still drink alcohol, but more intentionally. Having fun and playing and delighting in life in simple ways are ways that you can naturally boost these brain chemicals that contribute to healing your mental health and your emotional wellness and helping you to heal from anxiety, depression, burnout without having it feel like it always has to be work and really structured and serious. It doesn't always have to be that serious. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is get dressed up, look cute, go out with your girls, and hit the dance floor and have a few cocktails. And that's okay. It's okay. This is why you put in effort to create healthy habits in your day-to-day life, so that you have the capacity to be able to go out and have fun. You don't always have to go out. Fun can also be staying in and reading your book if that's fun to you. You can do both. And the more intentionally we prioritize things like joy and play and having fun, the more balanced our brain chemistry is, which makes healing feel lighter, more sustainable, because when something just feels like work and like it's hard and serious, it's not sustainable. Naturally, as human beings, it's harder for us to stick to doing things that feel hard, and healing gets to be fun. It has to be fun. Another thing that I know I struggled with before, and I know can be a struggle for people when they're in an era of healing or prioritizing their health and wellness, and especially with things like social media, where you kind of see that there has to be one or the other. You're either a wellness girly or you're a party girly. You don't have to choose between the two. You can be someone who prioritizes your health and wellness and is creating healthy habits, working on yourself, and someone who likes to have fun. And maybe you like to binge watch your TV shows sometimes, or you like to go out with your girlfriends, have cocktails, and dance, or you like to lay on the couch and eat pizza on your Sunday. Or, you see where I'm going with this? It doesn't have to be one or the other, black or white, and you can prioritize your health and wellness without being quote unquote perfect at it, because there's no such thing as perfection, and that just puts you on the track to burning out from healing, which is the opposite of what you embark on a healing journey for, to better yourself and get yourself out of that spot. But then if you make it so serious and so structured and so rigid and put all of these pressures on yourself as to what you're allowed to do and what your life gets to look like because you're on a healing or wellness journey, you're just going to burn out from that. And you're going to be worse off than when you started. Everything is about intention. And the point of doing this work is to have the capacity to be flexible with your life and create balance and allow yourself to delight in life and have fun and be silly and eat the pizza, have the cocktails, go on vacation, spend a Sunday binge watching your favorite TV show, and not spiral in the negative thought loop of guilt and shame and perfectionism, because no one is perfect. And that's not what life is about. There's no reward or award for living your life perfectly and not being flexible and following your perfect routine every single day for the rest of your life. There's no reward for that. And one of the most powerful, helpful healing lessons I learned in therapy was the power of and. It always gets to be and. I am this and I am this. I like to do this and I like to do this. I prioritize this and I prioritize this. There always gets to be there's always gray in life. It's not black and white. There's so much more gray than we ever really talk about. And I might be rambling now, but all of this to say, my intention with this episode is to empower you to prioritize your joy and your fun and delighting in life more often. Know that it is something that scientifically you need to live your best, healthiest life. And before even looking at doing anything else when it comes to healing or bettering your life or your mental health, your emotional health, try this. Try incorporating more fun and joy into your life and take the pressure off of yourself to be perfect along your healing journey, because no one is perfect and that is not what it is about. Life is going to feel so much lighter, so much better, so much more fulfilling and joyful when you allow yourself to delight in life and to have fun, to play, and every other aspect and area of your life will be positively impacted by you allowing yourself to have fun and feel joy more often. And I know these can be really deep-rooted limiting beliefs and conditioning deep inside of us that tell us that we need to feel guilty about doing so, or that we should be doing something productive. This is a muscle that we have to continuously work at and work on and push through. But from my experience, pushing through those thoughts that our subconscious or our ego wants to tell us and just doing it anyway and letting yourself have fun is the greatest thing you can do for your health, your wellness, your healing over anything else. Okay, I hope that something in this episode has been helpful for you or has resonated with you. I would love to hear from you if you have any comments, or I'd love to hear what you do to have fun and delight in life. You can email me at erinebbsandflows@gmail.com or DM me at ebbsandflows222 on Instagram. As always, everything is linked in the show description below. I also want to mention before we go that if you're in the Edmonton area, my partner in retreats, Lacey, and I are having our next full moon lunar eclipse retreat on March 15th, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. in Strathcona County in a beautiful heated dome on an acreage. That is going to be absolutely magical. We're going to have a fire underneath the full moon eclipse. Apparently there's supposed to be meteor showers that night, and we are going to be out disconnected from the city, disconnecting, releasing, connecting with ourselves for the final full moon of the astrological year. The eclipse, this is going to be a beautiful, transformative way to enter into the spring, the true new year, the astrological new year. I'm so excited, and I will put details below as well about that. And if you're interested, just send me an email and we would love to have you and connect with you there. Thank you for listening. I'm sending a lot of love and gratitude. I hope that you let yourself have some fun this week. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.